If you are collecting Social Security right now, or you are 5 years away from your first deposit, you need to stop whatever you are doing and watch this entire video, because what I am about to show you is not a theory, it is not a political talking point, and it is not something the mainstream financial media is going to explain to you in plain language. There is a legally documented countdown running inside the federal government right now. And at the end of that countdown, your monthly Social Security check could be permanently reduced by hundreds of dollars, not temporarily, not with a warning letter, not with a grace period, but automatically the moment a single line in federal law gets triggered. And the worst part is that most of the 55 million Americans currently receiving retirement benefits have absolutely no idea this mechanism even exists. The government is not sending you a brochure. Your financial advisor probably has not brought this up, and the news cycle is so consumed with day-to-day noise that this slow-moving financial catastrophe is being completely buried. But it is not buried here. So stay with me, because before this video ends, I am going to show you the single most powerful protective move available to you right now, and most seniors are not making it. Do not click away. The most important part of what I am about to tell you comes at the end. Right now, let me show you what is actually happening inside the Social Security system and why the clock is already running. The Social Security Administration publishes something called the Trustees Report every single year. It is one of the most important financial documents produced by the federal government, and almost nobody reads it. Inside that report is a projection that should be front page news every single day. The Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, the specific pool of money that funds your retirement benefit, is projected to be depleted within roughly a decade under current law. The most recent actuarial estimates put that depletion window in the early to mid-2030s. Now, here is where this stops being an abstract government accounting problem and starts being your personal financial emergency. Under current federal statute, specifically under the provisions governing the OAC Trust Fund, the moment that funds reserves hit zero, Social Security does not shut down. What happens is something far more insidious. Benefits are not eliminated. They are automatically reduced to match the level that incoming payroll tax revenue can actually support. And based on current actuarial projections, that incoming revenue would support approximately 75 to 79% of scheduled benefits. That means an automatic cut of roughly 21 to 25%. No vote required, no presidential signature required. The mechanism is already written into law. If you are currently receiving $2,000 a month, that is a reduction of $400 to $500 per month. Gone. Not gradually phased out, not softened with a transition period. Structurally reduced the moment the fund crosses that threshold. And here is what makes this even more dangerous for people in their 50s and early 60s who have not yet filed. Every year you delay understanding this risk. Every year you make your claiming decision without factoring in this scenario, you are potentially walking into a permanently reduced benefit with no ability to go back and undo it. Your claiming age decision and this trust fund timeline interact in ways that most financial advisors are not modeling for their clients. And we are going to get to exactly how you protect yourself in a moment. But first, I need to show you the second layer of this problem, because the trust fund depletion scenario does not exist in isolation. It is colliding with something else that is already hitting your check right now, and when these two forces combine, the damage to your monthly cash flow is severe. Medicare Part B premiums are deducted directly from your Social Security benefit before the deposit ever hits your bank account. You do not write a check for Medicare. It comes out automatically. And those premiums have been rising. The standard Medicare Part B premium for 2026 is $185 per month, deducted straight from your Social Security payment. On top of that, the annual Part B deductible has also increased. These are not small adjustments. Every time the Part B premium goes up, it consumes a portion of your cost of living adjustment before you ever see it. The Social Security Administration announces a COLA increase. Seniors hear about it on the news, they get excited, and then their actual deposit barely moves because the Medicare premium increase absorbed the majority of the raise. This is the compression effect that nobody is talking about loudly enough. You get a COLA designed to offset inflation, Medicare takes a significant chunk of it. Inflation still eats your purchasing power. And if the trust fund reduction scenario hits on top of this, you are looking at a three-way compression: statutory benefit reduction, Medicare premium deduction, and ongoing inflation, all hitting your fixed income simultaneously. Now, before I give you the protective blueprint, I need you to understand one more critical piece of this picture, because there is a group of seniors who are getting hit even harder than the standard beneficiary, and they may not even know why their checks are smaller than their neighbors. It is called IRMAA, Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. If your income in a prior tax year exceeded certain thresholds, the Social Security Administration automatically adds a surcharge on top of your standard Medicare Part B premium. For 2026, the IRMAA surcharges range from an additional $74 per month all the way up to several $100s per month, depending on your income bracket. The SSA uses your tax return from 2 years prior to calculate this. That means your 2024 income is determining your 2026 Medicare premium surcharge right now. And here is where thousands of seniors are silently losing money every single month. Life changes, you retire, your income drops, you sell a property, you have a one-time capital gain. Your spouse passes away. Any of these events can create a spike in reported income that triggers an IRMAA surcharge, and the SSA applies it automatically based on old data without knowing your current financial reality. They are charging you for income you no longer have, and most seniors just accept it because they do not know there is a formal mechanism to fight back. That mechanism is Form SSA 44. This is one of the most powerful and most underutilized documents available to Social Security recipients. Form SSA 44 is the official Medicare income-related monthly adjustment amount life-changing event form. You file it directly with the Social Security Administration to request that they use your current or more recent income rather than the 2-year-old tax data they defaulted to. The qualifying life-changing events that allow you to file SSA 44 include marriage, divorce or annulment, death of a spouse, work stoppage, work reduction, loss of income-producing property, loss of pension income, and employer settlement payments. If any of these apply to you and you are currently paying an IRMA surcharge, you may be entitled to have that surcharge reduced or eliminated immediately, not at next year's annual review. Now, you file the form, you provide documentation of the life-changing event, and the SSA is required to recalculate your premium based on updated income information. Some seniors are recovering hundreds of dollars per month through this single form, but you have to know it exists. You have to file it. And you have to do it before the mid-year adjustment window closes for your situation. Now, I promised you the most important strategic move available right now, and we are getting there. But I need to set it up properly because it only makes sense once you understand the full picture. You are facing a potential long-term reduction in your Social Security benefit driven by a structural funding problem that Congress has repeatedly failed to fix. You are facing ongoing Medicare premium increases that absorb your COLA adjustments, and you may be facing an IRMA surcharge calculated on income you no longer have. What this means for your overall financial posture is that you cannot afford to have your cash reserves sitting passively in accounts that are not working for you. With the Federal Reserve having moved interest rates to levels not seen in decades, high-yield instruments that were essentially useless for years are now generating meaningful returns. I-bonds, high-yield savings accounts, treasury bills, and certificate of deposit ladders are currently offering rates that allow your liquid reserves to, at minimum, keep pace with inflation rather than losing purchasing power year after year in a standard savings account. A CD ladder strategy, where you divide your liquid reserves across CDs maturing at different intervals, allows you to capture current elevated rates while maintaining regular access to your funds as each rung of the ladder matures. This is not a speculative investment. This is a defensive positioning strategy specifically designed for fixed-income households who cannot afford to absorb simultaneous shocks to their benefit income. The combination of a properly structured CD ladder and an actively filed SSA 44 to eliminate unjustified IRMA surcharges represents the most immediate, accessible, and legally straightforward protective move available to the average Social Security recipient today. And here's the part that I told you I was holding until the end. The single most critical strategic decision that will determine how much of your Social Security benefit survives the years ahead, regardless of what Congress does or does not do. Your claiming age. If you have not yet filed for Social Security, your decision about when to claim is the most powerful lever you have. Every year you delay claiming past your full retirement age, up to age 70, your benefit grows by 8%. That is a guaranteed, inflation-adjusted, legally protected increase of 8% per year. If the trust fund scenario does materialize and an automatic reduction is triggered, your benefit is reduced by a percentage of your scheduled amount. That means a larger scheduled amount produces a larger post-reduction check. An 8% per year delay credit compounding from 62 to 70 represents the difference between a post-reduction check that you can survive on and one that creates a genuine crisis. Most people claim early because they are afraid the system will collapse before they can collect. That fear is understandable, but the math runs in the opposite direction. The break-even point on delayed claiming, the age at which the accumulated larger checks exceed the accumulated smaller early checks, typically falls in the mid to late 70s. If you have any family history of longevity, if you are in reasonable health, delayed claiming combined with a defensive cash reserve strategy is not just smart, it is the most important financial decision you will make in your retirement years. Now let me give you the action steps because I do not want you to leave this video without a clear next move. Step 1. Go to ssa.gov and pull your Social Security statement. Review your projected benefit at 62, at your full retirement age, and at 70. Run the math on the 8% per year delay credit and what that means for your specific situation. Step 2. Check whether you are currently subject to an IRMAA surcharge on your Medicare Part B premium. If you are, and if you have experienced any qualifying life-changing event in the past 2 years, download Form SSA 44 from ssa.gov, complete it, attach your documentation, and file it immediately. Do not wait for the annual review. Step 3. If you have liquid cash reserves sitting in a standard bank savings account, contact your bank or a fee-only financial advisor about restructuring those reserves into a CD ladder or a treasury bill strategy that captures current interest rates. Step 4. Stay informed. The legislative situation around Social Security funding is moving. Congress has introduced multiple proposals ranging from payroll tax adjustments to benefit formula modifications to means testing changes. Every one of these proposals, if passed, will directly affect your benefit calculation. You need to be watching this space continuously, not checking in once a year when the news cycle briefly covers it. That is why this channel exists. We monitor this daily. We translate the legislative language into plain English so you understand exactly what is happening to your money before it happens. If you are not subscribed, subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell so you get an alert every time we publish. And if you have a family member, a friend, a neighbor who is on Social Security or getting close to retirement, share this video with them today. Not tomorrow, today. Because the window to make smart defensive moves is open right now and it will not stay open indefinitely. The trust fund clock is running, the Medicare premiums are rising, the IRMAA surcharges are quietly draining checks that belong to people who worked their entire lives for this money. You now know what most seniors do not.